Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. My name is Abdullah Muslim, and I'm your host for this program. Ramadan, origins, practice, and benefit. In some of our previous episodes, I was speaking to you about bonding with the family. I've spoken to you about reading the Quran and what's in it, what's contained in the Quran. You know, I come from the United States of America. I was born and raised there. My dad was in the Army. I was in the Marine Corps. And I don't have any regrets about being in the military. And I'm telling you this because I want you to understand I'm an American citizen. I accepted Islam in 1969. And in doing so, my reasoning, and I've mentioned this to you many times in the past, was to get away from some bad habits I had. Drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes primarily. I got married early. I was fortunate. I'm glad I got married early. Believe me when I tell you. And I'm glad that I married my wife as a non-Muslim. I married her because she was known as a good girl. She was younger than me. She was a teenager when I married her. And we've been married for a long time now. And I'm revealing all these things about myself because I was married long before I became a Muslim. And I don't have a single regret about accepting Islam. I don't have a single regret. And the people whom my motivation was to simply be around people who would not encourage me to do anything wrong. And that's the people whom Almighty Allah put me with. And I worked for an airline, so I had the ability to travel from one place to the another. I've been in a lot of countries in the world, and I've seen Islam in many countries, including France. And in doing so, I recognize that the common thread of Islam is that we agree on La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the last prophet, not the only prophet, the last prophet of God. In other words, there's no revelation coming after him. We agree on prayer. I've never been in a Muslim country where Muslims didn't pray, unless the government there forbade them from doing so, like in China or one of those countries. Yeah, I had to mention it, because I'm offended by it, but hey. And we agree on that. And we agree on on zakat, on paying charity, not giving money to the government or to a charitable organization. Okay, even though you can do that too. But to take the money and to give it from ourselves to the individual or the family who needs it. That's the zakat that I'm talking about, 2.5% of your accumulated wealth. We agree on Ramadan. I've never been in a Muslim community that says that Ramadan is not important. If they are there, I'm not aware of it. I'm not saying that there are none. I'm just saying I'm not aware of it. And we agree on Hajj, that is going to Mecca, all right, once in our lifetimes if we're able to. During Ramadan, we are being prepared for what comes after Ramadan. What comes after Ramadan? Well, you're not required to fast anymore. You don't have to fast the days of the 6 days that come. I think the month is Ashura. I think that's the month. If I'm wrong, forgive me, please. Write a letter to Huda, all right, and tell him he was wrong. I'll admit that I was wrong. But there's 6 days that we fast, the immediate month after Ramadan, so we can have the protection and the mercy of Allah for the whole year. We don't fast the days we don't have to fast. There's no other obligatory fasting days after Ramadan. That's the point I'm making. Ramadan is an obligation that Allah has given us. But if we're sick, if we're unable, for any reason, if we're traveling, if a woman has just given birth, if a woman is nursing, if any valid reason for not fasting, if you're old and you just can't do it. Maybe you're not old, maybe you can't fast, you just can't do it. There are ways to get around it. In other words, you feed some poor person or some hungry person, all right, what you would normally eat. So, but we all agree on these 5 things. Now, there are other places that we don't agree. But on these things we agree. And we agree that the Quran is the word of Allah. We agree that Allah has angels. We agree on the angels. We agree on the qadr, that everything has already been established. And that this, my understanding, and from what I've heard, that this life is a test for us. And a part of that test is Ramadan. You see, when you're fasting during the month of Ramadan, or you're fasting, maybe you want to fast the sunnahs of Prophet Muhammad, or Prophet David, Prophet Dawood. Okay, maybe you want to fast those days. The fast of Prophet Muhammad was every Monday and Thursday, and the 15th, 16th, and 17th, which is the middle of the month. And the fast of Prophet Dawood, according to what Prophet Muhammad has said, is the best fast, all right, which is every other day. Fast one day, don't fast the next. But Ramadan, but none of these are an obligation. Ramadan is an obligation. Now, with that obligation, you see, Allah has said that fasting is for Him. He gives the reward for that. The other things that we do, the zakat, the person you're giving that zakat to, or the person you're giving that sadaqah to, Jazakallah khair, may Allah grant you afiyah, may Allah grant you the best of everything, may Allah grant you Jannah, so forth and so on. That's between you and him, or her, or them. Okay? But Ramadan, if you don't fast, the only one who will know it if you don't tell anybody is you and Allah. You don't tell anybody, but maybe you might even find it necessary to lie. Yeah, man, I'm fasting, and you're not. Allah is the only one who knows whether or not you are really doing it. Now, there are people who make a distinction between fasting, that is not eating or drinking, and abstaining. 2 different words. Meaning, from what I understand, abstain is actually more aggressive, more inclusive than fasting, because abstaining, and that's what really Ramadan is about. We don't just give up food and drink. We also give up bad ideas, bad thoughts. We give up aggression. If you're an aggressive person, but you really believe in Allah, and you love Islam, and you love Prophet Muhammad, and you love the believers, and you really believe, you want to go to Jannah, you want heaven, you want the reward from doing good. Ramadan prepares you for that. Ramadan sets you up in such a way, if you do it properly, if you do it according to the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, you do that, okay? You and his companions, when you abstain from all the things that you would normally do, okay? And these things are also partly described in Quran. Okay? Then there's an additional mercy that comes into your life from Allah. Allah gives you additional things. He gives you, through this discipline of Ramadan, through this preparation of Ramadan, the next time after Ramadan is finished, and you run into a situation when someone is trying to anger you, and you run into a situation wherein for some reason or another you're not able to get food or water right away, or any type of liquid, you can be patient with it because, hey, you've already been there and done that. Hey, I fasted during Ramadan. I can take this. Hey, I've practiced Ramadan. I can be more concerned and more balanced about my salat, my prayers. Because Ramadan, I made all of my prayers on time. Ramadan is something that prepares us for the rest of the year. It's good for us. That's why Allah gave it to us. We're the only people who have this time period in our book of the Abrahamic people. Nobody else has this. And it works. It's good for us. Ramadan Mubarak. Peace be unto you.
Ooh.